Is that gonna work? All right. That wood is heavy and wet. What do you think? It's definitely smoky.
Yeah, good black smoke. Is it immersion heater, water circulator?
Yeah, I have that. I use that all the time.
Yeah, we never use it.
So I have new shot glasses today.
There's only 2 of us, but you're putting up 4.
Yeah.
All right.
The Don Julio, which you love. We got our bitchin' shirts from Hank. Number 6.
Number 6.
Yeah.
I thought you wanted me to. I thought this camera was going.
Yeah.
And I was gonna have to lay on the
You
table.
have to lay on the table.
That's why you didn't film
Don't
this.
I know. That's too much. We should throw this out.
Yeah, it's a bad purchase.
So tonight we're gonna fry ribeyes and French fries, and we're gonna try something on the grill, right? Some beans and
Yes.
what's in there?
Something green. Half a pound of green beans and an onion I found.
Okay. Where'd you find it? The onion.
It was on the counter.
At your house or just some counter like at the airport?
Yes. The luggage counter.
Perfect. All right. Here's another water balloon that I'm putting
Bob.
on the fire. I can actually feel the liquid.
Oh,
in
right.
this.
It's sopping wet. Bob, what does your hat stand for? Is that for the Better Business Bureau?
Yes.
All right.
It's I've been hired. I work for the government now. John, I've watched like 3 or 4 episodes of Meat Kingdom, and I didn't know that you were an award-winning meat chef.
That's interesting because I just found that out.
No, it's not true. You just won second place.
Yeah, there's just a little neighborhood thing. I've gotten second, judges twice. Excuse me, that came out completely wrong. I've gotten second place twice according to the judges, and I stuffed the ballot box this other time, so I got people's choice.
When you go out and you enter these things, is it chili?
Yeah, actually, I think that was episode 3. It was all sausage and just a bunch of little secret tricks. A lot of fish sauce and just weird stuff I've kind of discovered.
You know, if you guys get some musician friends out there to drink and play a little guitar, it could be a pretty big thing, I think, man.
I got a total bluegrass situation coming up really soon with Meat Kingdom.
Wow.
Gonna kick butt. And this may make the cut or not, but I'm trying to get Joe Satriani on it.
That would
Bluegrass
get some views.
legend.
Yeah, bluegrass legend. And we're gonna
Joe Satriani.
we're gonna teach John how to play the guitar on the episode.
Which episode was he on?
That was I Am a Pod, right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I actually just watched it a couple of weeks ago. So it's something along. I don't remember the exact details of it because it it's Aqua Teen, so it's not logical. So I can't. But basically, there's like this creature that's like messing with them, and then eventually they go and see Chickenfoot, which Joe Satriani's there, and
Eventually, they go see Chickenfoot.
that was my first time watching it. I hadn't seen it before, so I just went and watched that one, and I loved it. It's honestly one of my new favorites because I just couldn't believe how funny it was, and Chickenfoot were great in it.
I recorded them in San Francisco, so I went to the studio, and it was Chad Smith from Chili Peppers. It was Michael Anthony from Van Halen, and Joe Satriani, and they were all really big fans of the show. And I remember Michael was like, he has kids. He's like, my kids are so excited I'm on this show.
And that last shot where Carl is possessed by the aliens, it's like the Donald Sutherland Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I downloaded the shot with Donald Sutherland, put it directly in the timeline, and I built everything on top of it and timed it
exactly to the frame, so it's exactly the same.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Which I'm very impressed
You're getting
by.
sued.
No one else is.
Yeah.
Did anybody notice?
No, no one knew until right now.
That's right.
No, I do want to say on the Aqua Teen Hunger Force fandom wiki, it does say this episode, including its ending, is based off of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So I think somebody picked up on that.
Well, it's pretty obvious.
Matt, I'd walk in. I saw you and Dave out just randomly writing on a couple occasions. When there's this little coffee shop in the neighborhood that we all kind of lived in. And Matt, you and Dave are on a little two-top on the back of San Francisco Roasting Company. It's like 45 degrees out because there was no seating inside.
Yeah.
And there's all the talking in the hubbub of a coffee shop, and you guys are actually writing an episode. And
Yeah.
I need complete silence to do what I'm doing. You know, I don't know how you guys did it. I have no idea.
It really got to where Dave and I would show up at some coffee shop or my house or California or wherever, and after an hour of just small talk, it'd be like we would just say like, I donated my car to the Kidney Foundation, and we just make a show out of it. I mean, that's where Meat Kingdom's we've already gotten offers for like 50, 70 million bucks.
Mm-hmm. We're holding out for 1 billion on this.
Yeah, but we're holding out for the billion.
You've been holding out
Yeah,
this whole
the
time.
big B.
Yeah, I haven't told.
You could
John
get
about it.
sponsorships from Smithfield, Ham,
Yeah.
and Johnsonville.
Yeah. Yeah. We're working on that, but they're not responding to that. But networks are actively looking to buy Meat Kingdom. But you know what we say to the networks? We say "F you," because nobody's watching your network. Nobody's watching your network.
You whip out your phone, and then all the lights change. Your tent goes up. Your pants activate. And you're like, Jack, you're okay. And you're levitating.
The fire starts and the steak starts cooking.
Yeah. The tide lowers in the lake.
Sorry, my phone's a little wonky right now. Let me see.
It's his eco phone.
His family falls asleep, so we can start writing in peace.
So let's just reminisce about old Aqua Teen stuff, Bob.
Okay.
Let's talk about like early days of Aqua Teen, and when we first did the pilot, you weren't part of that pilot because we had John Schnepp, who's unfortunately not with us anymore, and then we got Bob involved. Because did you know Dave? Is that how? Because I didn't know you.
Yeah, I had done a bunch of work because I was across the street at Turner Studios.
Yeah.
And Ronnie, so Turner had an in-house visual design thing. We do commercials for all the networks. And I got hired as a graphic designer and illustrator. And then they just start putting you on projects. So TNT Latin America, Turner Classic Movies, TBS, Cartoon Network, whatever. And I found I liked working with Cartoon Network the best because I drew cartoons. And so I did a bunch of stuff for Adam Reed and Matt Thompson and all of what later became Mike O'Lean's group over there. The On Air, they called it. Do all the commercials for cartoon. And then I quit. I got burned out and I quit. And Dave called me, Matt, to answer the long-winded answer to your question. Dave called me and said, "Hey, we're doing this show, Aqua Teen. Do you want to do the backgrounds?" And so I'd just been sitting in the apartment for 2 or 3 months. And I said, "Sure." It was funny. The first script of the pilot was funny. We'd never seen anything like it. Nobody had, nobody. And so this could be really, really cool. How much fun would this be?
I do want to mention to Bob's backgrounds 2 more that have come to mind that I really appreciate, both seeing as a kid and now doing a podcast about his work, essentially as an adult, is the super trivia background when the Aqua Teens go to a bar and they do trivia with Ned Hastings and Seth MacFarlane, but they're in this amazing bar with all this detail on the background. That's so fun, and as Bob has pointed out before, that like other cartoons, their backgrounds are typically not that detailed. But Aqua Teens are, which is very funny for a show that's considered, to be not very animated or whatever, that you guys have these very, very detailed backgrounds. So that was a very fun one to cover on the podcast because there's just so many little Easter eggs throughout it. For example, there's a jersey on the wall that I don't know anything about sports, so I typed this jersey in, and turns out the player his last name is Pettitt as well, with one T at the end, but Pettitt nonetheless, which was fun. And
Bob Pettitt in the NBA Hall of Fame.
That's right. Yeah. And then another one that I like that I talked to Bob about kind of recently was in the Dirtfoot episode, Master Shake gets himself stuck down in a well, and with the legendary Dirtfoot. And when they go down into the well, it's like this very nice apartment that's way better than the Aqua Teen's house. And there's the detail I loved was there's double ovens. There's 2 ovens down there, which I just love the idea that Master Shake needed that, as if he's ever cooking anything in the oven, let alone he needs 2 of them. Anybody, if you just look at an Aqua Teen background that Bob did, there's going to be some sort of fun detail there that's worth your time.
Well, thank you, Roddy. You know that super trivia background, I think I was finishing that up like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I needed something to put on the walls. And so I just went through my portfolio, and I just picked out my paintings and photographs and stuff, and I just put them in frames and stuck them up on the wall.
There you go.
Going back to Dirtfoot, I have photos of us filming the live action stuff of Dirtfoot, and I'm going to put them on this episode. I have our PA like the Dirtfoot thing, and
I think Nick was.
I got Nick in the suit.
Yeah, it was Nick. Yeah. To Bob here, I do want to mention, he didn't just do backgrounds in Aqua Teen. He also did the props that the characters hold and interact with. For example, Bob, you did the Dr. Weird guitar, right?
I did.
The Flying W.
Yeah.
And I think
the Flying W.
Yeah, that was your original idea, I think, Matt. And then I just
Triple
made
threat.
something ridiculous with like 3 scales long, and some dude
Like
made
16
it. Remember
feet
that
long.
guy? Remember that dude on YouTube?
People have made it. Yeah.
So when Space Ghost first came out, there wasn't actually an Adult Swim, right? Yet?
No, there wasn't.
Well, were they going to cook something?
That's what I'm wondering. I was like, I don't know what Matt's plan is, if they're going to cook that off separately from us, or if they're going to cook that, because they're just frying ribeyes, he said, like that. I don't think that'll take too long, but I don't know what his intention is, because when I did this with him last time with Dana, they kind of cooked it beforehand. It was like a roast, so it was just cooking while we were talking. I don't know. Let me see.
Yeah, if they were frying, it would have been done by now, right?
Right. So yeah, I don't know if they're gonna set us up with. Let me call Matt and see here. His phone died. That'll do it. You can't talk to people through your phone when your phone's dead. That's the problem I've learned.
There it is.
What happened was
Matt.
my phone just died. So
Yeah, it'll do that when you keep it on for an hour 45 with the screen on and you're filming yourself.
I know.
So did you plug it into the Yeti?
No, I plugged it in.
Plugged it into his pants.
Yeah, into my pants.
His socks, yeah. Plugged it into his socks there, and now.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see this, but these are lit up.
USB-C.
You see it?
It's future-proof.
I love how earlier John's like, yeah, Matt and Dave hated technology, and now Matt's over here with fucking electric socks, which I didn't even know existed until we started doing this. Hey, Matt,
Yeah.
Bob and I were wondering, are you going to be cooking the ribeye or the steaks with us on?
We have two 2-inch ribeye steaks, and the oil is beef tallow from my briskets. So, do you guys want to hang out for that?
I mean, I would. I don't know if Bob's got to go draw something.
No, I already ate. Thanks. No.
Nothing.
I gotta figure this out so you guys can see what we're doing. I'm not sure what you can see.
Oh, wow.
Table.
This is where we're gonna cook, right here.
Oh wow, these steaks are big.
I'm gonna show you these steaks. Can
I
you
see your
that?
truck. You're cooking in the truck?
No. Hold on.
Hang on.
I see pink pixels.
Can you see that?
Look at that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking
That looks good. Now, Matt, I'm excited for this episode because I'm going to try this after I watch you do it and make sure that you don't, like, explode when you do it. Then I'm going to try it in the safety after I watch you do it.
We start a timer.
Yeah.
You know, I've never had moonshine before.
It's
Maybe I
gross.
should come over to your house, Bob, and we can share that cup.
All right, the ribeyes are in.
Put it down.
Can you guys see that?
Move the camera. Yeah.
Move the camera. No.
The thing about fried ribeye is that it's not grilled.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
So I've been seeing this.
yeah. And John has tongs that are made of rubber. So when you put
Oh.
them in the hot oil, they melt.
That's Flavor Town, baby.
You see that? Solid gold.
Oh,
Wow,
yes.
Yeah,
Eating like a king.
yeah.
Like a Saudi prince.
Like a Saudi prince out in the woods.
You know
How
what?
long do those steaks sit for now?
About 6 hours.
Okay. So they get
Yeah.
nice and cold, so they don't burn your mouth.
Dude, no.
Be
Just
careful,
use your-
John.
use your-
I'm gonna dial 911 right now while I wait. Matt says, he's texting me, he said, we can see you but can't hear.
Oh, there
Can
you
you
are.
hear us now, Matt?
There you are.
We can't hear you either. I'll tell him that. Can't.
I can see him, but not hear him.
Yeah. Well, Bob, you know sign language, right? Let's talk to them that way.
I'm gonna draw him a sign.
Bob, I think this is our first ever Meat Kingdom original artwork that you're creating right now. He says, yeah, bad connection.
I thought Starlinks were pretty infallible.